Hey all, my name's Michael, welcome to the channel, and we're going to be getting into some 4chan stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Now, let's begin. Be me, Trevor, 28, working as a network security analyst for a mid-sized tech organization. I live in a downtown condo with a view of the city skyline. I've been with my girlfriend Cassie for 4 years. Met her at trivia night where she knew obscure 90s music facts. We bonded over shared love of craft beer and hiking trails. She's a kindergarten teacher from a stable middle-class family. Her parents are still married, the white picket fence lifestyle, very different from my chaotic divorced parents' upbringing. Cassie's dating history is basically a romance novel. Serious boyfriend in high school for 3 years, one college relationship that lasted 2 years, couple casual dates after graduation, but nothing serious. Total body count of 3, including me. She's proud of this, says she doesn't believe in hookup culture. I find it refreshing compared to dating app nightmares. We move in together after 2 years. Everything's seamless, no major fights or drama. She keeps the apartment clean, I handle tech and car maintenance. We establish comfortable routines and inside jokes. Her parents love me and invite me to family vacations. My mom thinks Cassie is perfect daughter-in-law material. The relationship feels like winning the lottery. I proposed last Christmas at her favorite restaurant, hiring a photographer to hide in the corner booth. She says yes before I finish my speech and posts an Instagram story with the ring and a crying selfie. Caption reads, "My person found me." Gets 200 likes and a dozen congratulatory comments. Her mom starts a wedding Pinterest board that night. Wedding planning begins immediately. Cassie transforms into a full-time event coordinator with spreadsheets for everything. Flowers, music, seating charts. She tries on 15 different dresses at 8 different stores. Her mom flies in twice to help with vendor meetings. They spend weekends comparing cake flavors and centerpiece options. I contribute opinions when asked, but mostly stay out of details. I just want her to be happy and have her dream wedding. Around 2 months before the ceremony, subtle changes start. Cassie becomes more withdrawn during evening conversations, spends hours scrolling social media in bed, sighs deeply while looking at other couples' photos. When I ask what's bothering her, she says just wedding stress. But something feels off about her energy, like she's somewhere else mentally. Then comes the conversation that changes everything. We're watching Netflix, some rom-com with a predictable plot. During the credits, she turns to me with a serious expression. "Trevor, can I ask you something personal?" I pause the remote and give her my attention. "Do you ever feel like we settled for each other?" The question hits like cold water to the face. She elaborates before I can respond. "I mean, we're both good people who get along well, but neither of us dated around much before this. What if there's someone out there who's perfect for us? Someone who makes us feel alive in ways we can't imagine." I try to reassure her that compatibility matters more than passion, but I can see doubt growing in her eyes. Over the next few weeks, these conversations become frequent. "Don't you wonder what it would be like with someone else? I've only been intimate with 3 people in my entire life. What if I'm missing out on amazing experiences?" She starts mentioning friends who had wild phases before settling down, says she feels naive and inexperienced compared to them. I point out that her friends seem happy now. She agrees but adds, "At least they know what they chose." Red flags are multiplying, but I try to be understanding. Maybe this is normal pre-wedding anxiety. Lots of people question major life decisions. I suggest couples counseling if she wants to talk through doubts. She declines, says she just needs to process these feelings. Alarm bells are ringing, but I don't want to seem controlling. 3 weeks before the wedding, the nuclear bomb drops. Her college sorority sister Brianna calls with an exciting proposal. She wants to throw an epic bachelorette weekend in Miami. One last hurrah before you become a boring married lady. Brianna is a trust fund kid who posts bikini photos from Ibiza and works in influencer marketing, which means rich parents. Exactly the type who thinks marriage is societal oppression. Cassie presents the Miami trip as a non-negotiable decision. Brianna already booked a penthouse suite at a South Beach hotel. She invited 6 other girls from college. "It'll be my last weekend as a single woman." That phrasing sends ice through my veins. I express concerns about timing and expense. She gets defensive. "Don't you want me to have fun?" We have the first serious fight of our relationship. I say the Miami party scene seems inconsistent with her values. She accuses me of being jealous and controlling. You had a bachelor party planned with your friends, which was true, a weekend camping trip with college buddies. But camping does not equal South Beach nightclub scene. She promises her coworker Emma will be there as the responsible adult. Emma is a divorced single mom who seems level-headed. I reluctantly agree, but my gut instinct is screaming danger. Friday morning, I drive her to the airport. She's unusually quiet during the 30-minute ride, keeps checking her phone and avoiding eye contact. At the terminal curb, she hugs me longer than normal and whispers, "I love you," in a tone that sounds like goodbye. I should have recognized this as a massive red flag. I kiss her forehead and watch her disappear into the crowd. The weekend feels like waiting for a bomb to explode. I try to stay busy with wedding prep tasks, confirm catering numbers, pick up my rental tuxedo, play video games with friends, but I can't concentrate. I check my phone obsessively for updates from Miami. I get generic texts. Hotel is amazing, weather perfect, miss you. No photos, no details about activities. My anxiety is growing, but I tell myself I'm being paranoid. Saturday night around 11 p.m., everything implodes. I get a text from Emma that destroys my world. "Trevor, I'm so sorry, but I have to tell you something. Cassie hooked up with a guy at the club tonight. Brianna encouraged it, said she needed to live a little. I tried to intervene, but they ignored me. She's back at the hotel now, but seems different. Thought you deserved to know before Sunday." I read the message 20 times trying to process the information. Emma follows up with more details I don't want. Met him at rooftop bar, danced for hours. Brianna kept buying shots and pushing them together. They disappeared for 2 hours. She came back disheveled and quiet. Won't talk to anyone now. My phone drops from my hands onto the kitchen floor. I spend the rest of the night pacing the condo like a caged animal, cycling between rage, heartbreak, and disbelief. The woman I planned to marry in 3 weeks just cheated. The person I trusted completely betrayed that trust. The future I'd been planning dissolves in a single text message. I don't sleep at all, just stare at the ceiling until dawn. Sunday evening, Cassie returns home. I pick her up from the airport in complete silence. She tries making small talk about flight delays, mentions a restaurant they went to and some beach they visited, but won't look directly at me. She keeps fidgeting with her engagement ring. Her voice sounds hollow with forced enthusiasm. I let her dig a deeper hole for 45 minutes. Finally, I confront her in our living room. Emma told me what happened Saturday night. Color drains from her face instantly. She starts hyperventilating before attempting denial, then breaks down completely when I show her Emma's texts. A full confession pours out between sobs. "I got drunk and this guy was so charming. He made me feel desirable in a way I haven't felt in years. Brianna kept saying this was my last chance for adventure." The rationalization cuts deeper than the act itself. She treated our relationship like a prison sentence, needed one last taste of freedom before committing. I convinced myself it was just physical, like getting something out of my system. "I thought about you the whole time." She admits they went to his hotel room, says she regretted it immediately, claims she loves me and wants to work through this. I completely lose composure. Years of calm rationality explode into a screaming match. I ask how she could throw away 4 years for a random hookup, ask if she ever actually loved me or just liked the stability. She has no answers except tears and "I made a mistake." She keeps insisting it meant nothing, which makes it worse. Our entire future was worth nothing to her. A 4-hour emotional marathon ensues, her begging forgiveness, me demanding explanations. She admits she's been having doubts for months, wondering if there was more to life than safe choices. Brianna kept saying marriage would end my youth. I wanted to feel young and wild one more time. She asks if we can postpone the wedding for couples therapy, suggests taking a break to figure things out. I realize I can't marry someone capable of this betrayal. I tell her we're done, the engagement is over. She becomes hysterical and threatens self-harm. She calls her parents crying. They drive over immediately. We have an awkward conversation where they apologize profusely. Her father asks if there's any way to salvage the relationship. I explain trust can't be rebuilt in 3 weeks. They understand, but are devastated about canceling everything. Her parents had planned an $180,000 gift for the wedding and honeymoon. The money gets withdrawn when the engagement ends. They also rescind their offer to co-sign the mortgage for the house we'd picked out. Suddenly, Cassie faces adult consequences for the first time. She has to move back in with her parents at age 26, loses the deposit on the dream apartment we'd applied for. I keep our current place. She takes her furniture. I spend the next week canceling vendors and notifying guests. The caterer keeps 50% deposit, the venue keeps the entire payment. We lose thousands in non-refundable expenses. Her bridesmaids group chat becomes a war zone. Some blame Brianna for encouraging bad behavior, others blame me for not forgiving an honest mistake. Emma gets ostracized for telling me the truth. Cassie texts me constantly for the first month, alternating between apologies and justifications. Brianna manipulated me, I was drunk, it didn't count. Then she tries guilt trips. We can work through anything. Don't throw away our love over one night. I'll do whatever it takes to earn your trust back. I don't respond to any messages. I block her on social media after she posts cryptic quotes about forgiveness. Emma reaches out 6 weeks later with an update. Cassie is struggling with post-breakup reality, quit her teaching job due to mental health issues, spends most days in her parents' basement playing mobile games, gained 30 pounds from stress eating. She started therapy, but quit after 3 sessions, says the therapist doesn't understand her situation. Emma feels guilty for ruining the relationship, but stands by her decision. A plot twist develops 2 months after the breakup. Emma and I start texting regularly about our shared trauma. She's going through a difficult divorce and understands betrayal. Our conversations evolve from mutual support to genuine friendship. She's 29 with a 7-year-old son, very different from Cassie. She's practical, honest, values loyalty above adventure. We meet for coffee to discuss what happened in Miami. The connection feels natural, not forced or desperate. Emma tells me more details I hadn't known. Cassie had been flirting with guys all weekend, acting like she was single and loving the attention. The Saturday night hookup wasn't a spontaneous mistake. It was the culmination of calculated behavior. She kept saying she felt trapped in a boring relationship. Emma tried multiple interventions throughout the weekend, but Cassie ignored all warnings and advice. Emma and I start dating 3 months post-breakup. We take things very slowly given the circumstances. She introduces me to her son after 6 weeks. He's a smart kid who loves video games and science museums. We build the relationship gradually with no pressure. Emma appreciates stability after her cheating ex-husband. I appreciate honesty after my deceptive ex-fiancé. Somehow, Cassie discovers I'm dating Emma. She shows up at my office building demanding an explanation. How could you replace me with her? She destroyed our relationship by telling you security escorts her out while she's screaming about betrayal. The irony is completely lost on her. She files a harassment complaint when I get a restraining order. 6 months later, I learn more disturbing details. Cassie confesses to a mutual friend that Miami wasn't her first infidelity. She'd had an emotional affair with a coworker for the last 6 months of our relationship. Nothing physical, but we texted constantly. This explains her withdrawn behavior and phone obsession. Miami was just the final escalation of an existing pattern. The friend tells me Cassie seemed relieved when the engagement ended, like she wanted out but couldn't break up herself. A final pathetic detail emerges a year later. Cassie admits the Miami hookup was a disaster. The guy was terrible in bed and kicked her out afterward. Worst sexual experience of my life. Made me realize what I'd lost. Somehow she expects this information to make me sympathetic. She threw away a 4-year relationship for the worst night of her life and still doesn't understand that the quality of sex wasn't the issue. Emma and I get engaged after 18 months together. Her son asks me to be his stepdad at the ceremony. We have a healthy relationship built on actual communication and trust. No need for wild phases or finding ourselves. We know who we are and what we want. Boring stability turns out to be exactly what I needed. Cassie still contacts me occasionally from different numbers, usually drunk texts about regret and lost love. You were my soulmate. I destroyed the best thing in my life. Can we just talk for 5 minutes? I'm completely different now. I delete most without reading them. Some bridges can't be rebuilt once burned. I learned a crucial lesson about character versus chemistry. Cassie was fun and easygoing when life was comfortable, but had no integrity when tested by temptation. Emma might be less spontaneous, but she's completely trustworthy. It turns out reliable partnership beats exciting drama, especially when planning to build a life with someone. Finding yourself cost Cassie everything she claimed to want. One weekend of adventure destroyed 4 years of love. I dodged a lifetime of wondering if she'd cheat again. Emma values what Cassie took for granted. My face when sometimes the trash takes itself out.